Today, we're stepping back in time to relive an extraordinary story from the Islamic tradition. This is the tale of Tamim al-Daari, a tale of bravery, mystery, and an encounter that would haunt them forever. Tamim al-Daari, one of the companions of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, embarked on a voyage with his crew that would soon turn into a battle of survival. As the hadith describes, their ship was caught in a relentless storm, one that raged not just for a few hours, but for an entire month. Imagine being tossed about by massive waves, hearing the deafening roar of the wind, and feeling the biting cold of seawater crashing over the deck. These were not just ordinary gusts of wind, these were hurricanes, capable of tearing apart even the strongest ships of that era. For Tamim and his crew, the sea seemed endless, as did the storm's wrath. With no clear direction, they were left at the mercy of the violent ocean. Yet, just as their hope began to fade, the storm started to settle. As dawn broke, they spotted land in the distance, a strange, uncharted island that would lead them to an encounter unlike any they had imagined. As Tamim al-Daari recalls, the sun was sinking into the horizon, casting a haunting glow over the mysterious island. Exhausted from their harrowing ordeal at sea, Tamim and his companions cautiously made their way deeper into the dense, shadowy jungle. Suddenly they stopped, frozen by the sight in front of them. Standing before them was a bizarre creature. It was unlike anything they had ever seen. This beast was completely covered in long, thick hair, so tangled and matted that it was impossible to distinguish its face from its back. It moved awkwardly, crawling slowly on the ground. Confused and frightened, one of Tamim's companions called out, "Woe to you, who are you?" The creature paused and in a coarse voice answered,
"I am al-Jassasa."
Bewildered, they asked, "What is al-Jassasa?" But instead of explaining, the creature seemed eager to lead them elsewhere.
"Oh people, go to that person in the monastery. He is very eager to meet you."
The companions exchanged uneasy glances. The presence of this strange, hairy beast was already terrifying, but the invitation to meet someone in a secluded monastery hinted at something even more mysterious waiting ahead. With cautious steps, they followed the creature's directions, each step bringing them closer to the unknown that awaited on this unsettling island. When Tamim al-Daari and his companions finally reached the mysterious monastery, they found themselves standing before a man unlike any they had ever seen. He was massive, towering above them, with a strong, imposing build that defied human proportions. His body was wrapped in heavy iron chains that shackled him from his ankles to his knees. Despite being bound, he thrashed about violently, scratching his hair and jumping up and down in a desperate attempt to free himself. His eyes were filled with both anger and despair. Startled by the sight, Tamim's companions cried out, "Woe to you, who are you?" The chained man paused for a moment, his voice deep and ominous as he replied,
"You will soon find out about me, but first, tell me who you are."
Tamim, still bewildered, responded, "We are people from Arabia who set out on a ship, but we were caught in a storm and ended up on this island." He then recounted their journey, explaining how they had come across al-Jassasa, who had led them to this place. The chained man listened intently, his eyes narrowing as he asked,
"Tell me about the date palm trees of Baysan."
Tamim and his companions exchanged confused glances, but answered, "What do you wish to know about them?"
"Do they still bear fruit?"
he demanded. "Yes," they confirmed. "They do." With a sinister tone, he warned,
"Soon they will no longer bear fruit."
Now, these date palm trees weren't just any trees. They belonged to the ancient city of Baysan, known today as Beit Shean, located at the junction of the Jordan River Valley and the Jezreel Valley in northern Israel. This region, known for its fertile lands, continues to cultivate date palms even today. His next question was equally puzzling.
Tell me about the Lake of Tabaria,
he said.
Is there still water in it?
Yes, there is plenty of water, they replied, trying to make sense of his questions. The chained man shook his head slowly, his expression grave.
Soon it will dry up.
The Lake of Tabaria, also known as the Sea of Galilee or Lake Tiberias, is a freshwater lake located in northeastern Israel. According to the Hadith, the emergence of Yajuj and Majuj, Gog and Magog, will lead to the lake's depletion. As these forces pass through, they will drink the lake's water until it is entirely dry. He continued, asking about the spring of Zugar in southern Syria.
Is there water in that spring, and do people still use it to grow crops?
Yes, they responded. There is plenty of water, and the people use it for farming. Tamim and his companions began to realize that they were not just talking to any man, but to someone or something that had a deep understanding of both the past and the future. The chained figure then fixed his gaze on Tamim and his companions, his voice filled with an urgent intensity.
Tell me about the prophet of the unlettered people. Are people listening to him?
Tamim, trying to maintain his composure, replied, "Yes, they are listening to him very attentively." At this, the chained man let out a sudden roar, violently leaping up with such force that it seemed as if the heavy iron chains would shatter. The companions felt a surge of fear, as if he might break free at any moment. Once he calmed down, his voice was filled with bitterness as he spoke again.
It is better for them to listen to him. Now, I will tell you who I am. I am Dajjal, the Antichrist. Soon, I will be given permission to emerge. When that happens, I will travel across the lands, sparing no town or city, for 40 nights. But there are two places I cannot enter, Makkah and Taiba. Every time I try to enter, angels with swords will block my path, and each route will be guarded.
With this revelation, Tamim and his companions returned, their hearts weighed down by the profound knowledge of what they had seen. Tamim went straight to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and shared their entire encounter. The Prophet confirmed its truth, reinforcing the importance of what they had witnessed. This story, recorded in Sahih Muslim, Hadith 2942, continues to inspire awe and reflection. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories. Until next time, remember, understanding the past shapes our view of the future. Stay curious.